my dad turned into a zombie, he hangs around in front of my mom's door every day, while other zombies are clawing and trying to eat people. He's out there sending food to the house, claiming it's to help me regain my strength. I said, "Dad, I just want some pig's feet." The old man didn't respond. After a while, he asked me, "Is your mom's stomach still hurting today?" It's the third day since the zombie outbreak. My mom has been staring out the window, probably lost. Thought I took a bite of the noodles she made for me, too salty. That bowl of noodles made me deeply miss my dad. He used to make stir-fried pork slices, and even the simple noodle soup would get boiled 3 times. Thinking of my dad, I couldn't help but sigh. I wonder how Dad's doing. If only he were here. As soon as I said that, my mom got mad. Then go find your real dad and see if he wants you. The word dad is something my mom can't stand hearing, especially when it comes from me, a couple that has been together for a 100 days of kindness. We got divorced, but can't we still be friends? That bastard said we should divorce, and if I ever see him again, I'll slap him so hard he won't know what hit him. I sighed. After what I said, I didn't even know if we would ever see him again. My mom went quiet again, staring out the window like some stone statue. I think she misses him, but I don't have proof. Today is the 4th day since the outbreak at home. We still have 3 packs of noodles, half a bag of rice and 10 eggs. I'm grateful for my past habit of hoarding frozen food. We've got enough for the 2 of us to last half a month. I'm scared, though. What if we run out and no one comes to rescue us? Or worse, what if we haven't finished the food and a zombie breaks in? Then my mom and I would both turn into zombies. How ugly would that be? My mom knows about my worries and gave me a disdainful glance. Normal people are afraid of mutating, but you're worried about turning ugly. My mom's different from me. She's delicate and never does anything rough, but when it comes to tough situations, her mental strength is rock solid. She reads books when needed, waters the plants when needed. It's funny, though, ever since the zombie outbreak, the 2 pots of flowers on the window have been growing particularly well. They're the ones Dad used to care for. I don't know what's happening to him. He's in a villa, so the security system there is probably better than ours. He should be fine, right? I decided to call Dad when my mom was napping. I dialed his number, but no one answered. After a long wait, what if something happened to him? Turning around, I saw my mom lying on the sofa watching me. Didn't answer the phone. Your dad didn't answer the phone. My mom's investigative skills are incredible. Even Detective Sherlock Holmes would give her props. No, he didn't. Mom, what if something happened to him? What if I glanced outside? Those zombies are so damn creepy and ugly. What if my dad turned into one of them? It's already the 4th day. Not once has Dad called me. Normally he doesn't, but at a time like this, wouldn't he be worried about his own daughter and ex-wife? When I thought of that, I really panicked. I'm sure something's happened to him. Zombies are so ugly. Ugly looks, shuffling steps, and their voices are disgusting. The more I thought about it, the sadder I became. I almost cried. My mom hit me hard. Pathetic. Why are you crying? Your dad's as clever as a monkey, always going out with 2 bodyguards just to show off. So what could happen to him? I wanted to say, who's crying? I'm holding it back. I wiped my eyes. I'm not crying. Don't say nonsense. Your eyes are as red as a rabbit's. I glanced at the mirror across the room, and it was true. I then looked back at my mom. Mom, why are your eyes red too? She turned her head away. Sand got in my eyes. I glanced at the tightly sealed windows and doors, wondering if she meant sand from the Sahara. After a while, my mom turned back. Call again. What? Call your dad again? My mom was anxious, so I called my dad again. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings. Sorry, the user you are trying to reach is busy. My dad hung up on me. Hung up. Then a message came through. I'm with my girlfriend right now. Everything's fine. Don't worry. I sighed in relief. He's fine. But then an unexplainable anger surged within me. Damn it. He found a new girlfriend and forgot about the old one. Boo-hoo, my mom is so pitiful. I heard her grinding her teeth. It wasn't me, it was her. Damn it, don't let me see you calling your dad again, or I'll break your legs. I stared at my phone, speechless. Boo-hoo, I'm really pathetic. I'm just a clown. Day 5 of the zombie outbreak. The number of zombies outside has increased. Our little crappy door probably won't last much longer. It's just this thin little wooden panel. I mean, my dad has so many nice houses, but my mom didn't want any of them. When they divorced, she insisted on keeping this little broken house. This house is a nightmare to me from the time I could remember until I was in middle school. I can't count how many times I've been beaten here by both men and women, while other girls wore pretty floral dresses. My biggest wish as a child was to become a black belt in Taekwondo. Later, when my dad made some money, our family moved out of this little place. The soundproofing of this house is terrible, and the zombies outside are always how sometimes they even come to bang on the door. My mom and I have to brace the door tightly every day. We live in constant fear. We keep hopping for a helicopter to descend from the sky and evacuate us to a safe place. My mom hasn't had a good night's sleep for several days. I told her to rest while I sat in the living room keeping watch. It's summer now, and the corpses in the hallway are rotting faster, filling the air with a terrible stench. I opened the window to get some ventilation, but just as I did, I heard footsteps approaching outside. It wasn't the typical tap-tap of normal human footsteps. It was much heavier, thud, thud, thud. A zombie was coming. I quickly braced the door. Sure enough, the zombie started slamming into the door, making a R sound. Our little wooden door cracked under the impact. Sweat poured down my face, and I quickly dragged the sofa over to block it. But then the banging stopped. Curious, I peeked through the peephole. Oh, another ZBE. The two zombies started fighting. One was terrifyingly thin, and the other was fat like a ball from the size. It seemed like the thin one was the one who had been banging on my door. If it had been the fat one, my little wooden door would have cracked into more than just one gap. It would have been a whole. Zombies usually team up to attack people, but I'd never seen zombies fighting each other before. The fat zombie was decked out in gold, with a huge gold chain around his short, thick neck. He wore a short-sleeve shirt and shorts, both stained with blood, but you could still see the brand Logos Chanel on the white shirt, and a huge Puma logo on the back of his shorts. He was obviously some sort of rich guy when he was alive, and quite tacky at that his outfit was so gaudy. It reminded me of my dad, who loved to dress like this. Thinking of my dad made me even angrier. The two zombies fought, and the thin one fled in panic. The fat zombie, with his hands behind his back and belly sticking out, leisurely strolled away. I watched him go, and for some reason I could sense that he was kind of pleased with himself. Isn't it said that zombies have no consciousness? He wasn't even walking with his feet turned inward like a typical zombie. After thinking it over, I realized maybe I don't understand zombies as well as I thought. I'll have to study them more. Day 6 of the zombie outbreak. Since the fat zombie chased off the thin one, the fat zombie has been hanging around in front of our door regularly. My mom and I are so scared that we don't dare sleep. We sit on the sofa by the door all day long, holding knives in both hands. Although neither of us is very skilled with knives, I'm confident that if we face a zombie unprepared, we could at least take off its head with 4 strikes. When the door cracks open, it's been 2 days, and the fat zombie hasn't shown any signs of banging on the door. Every day he just strolls around, and if you couldn't see his blood-stained pale face and bulging white eyeballs, you'd think he was just an old man out for a walk. The fat zombie has an intimidating body and remarkable strength. Ever since he started hanging around, no other zombies have dared come near our door, strangely enough. I also haven't seen any of the bodies in the hallway. Recently, the air in our house has become much fresher compared to the last few days. Day 10 of the zombie outbreak. After observing the fat zombie for the past few days, I realized he doesn't seem to have any ill intentions toward our little wooden door. My mom and I have slightly lowered our guard. We've been sitting on the sofa by the door holding knives and chatting. We've eaten most of the food in the house. My mom and I were sitting on the sofa, starting to worry about what we still had left. We counted the noodles and rice we had. She used to be pampered by my dad, eating bird's nest soup every day. Now she's down to eating noodles and counting every strand. Her face is so gaunt, I feel bad for her. I said, how about I go out and find some food? Who knows when the rescue team will arrive? It's not like we can just sit here and wait for the food to run out. My mom shot me a look and said, stop, that even if I starve to death, I won't let you go out there and die. I said, look at these biceps of mine, go ahead, feel them, there. Rock hard. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Do you think I can't handle this? My mom dragged me over to the peephole. The fat zombie was squatting in front of our door. She asked, do you think you're stronger than him? I looked at the fat zombie's muscular legs, which were as thick as my waist, and his bulging biceps, which although fat had visible veins. It was pretty scary. I scratched my nose awkwardly. This guy used to be human, but he's gone crazy now. The fat zombie was standing by the railing picking his nose while looking up. I said, when this fat zombie was human, his brain probably wasn't working right. But look at me, my brain works perfectly. I'm way smarter than him. Just as I said that, I felt like the fat zombie turned around and gave me a look. His gaze was strangely resentful. I shivered. Why did I feel like he could hear me and understand me? I mean, I can't be surprised if he hears me, since our little wooden door is so thin I can tell who's walking outside. But understand me, that doesn't seem possible. I shook my dismissing the thought. Just then my stomach growled loudly. My mom paused, then said, want to eat some self-heating food? I shook my head. and said, "No, let's play a game." My mom gave me a confused look. I pulled her back to the sofa and said, "This game is called the mental satisfaction method. Close your eyes and think along with me." My mom stared at me like I was crazy, but after I begged, she reluctantly closed her eyes. Now imagine we're in a Walmart supermarket. We walk in and a friendly sales assistant greets us. A beautiful woman passes by and gives me a flirtatious glance. "Hey, why are you hitting me?" Ahem, back to the point. We pick up some dragon fruit. "You want a few?" And then we grabbed some desserts. "Oh, the dessert section, I love it. And I'll get my pig's feet." 2 tears of hunger started rolling down my cheeks. My mom kicked me back into reality. "Stop talking, the more you say, the hungrier I get." Day 11 of the zombie outbreak. Someone knocked on our little wooden door today. I was terrified. If someone's knocking, it must be a living person, not a zombie. Could someone be in trouble and asking for help? I quickly walked to the door and peered through the peephole. There was no one outside. It was empty, not even the fat zombie who usually hangs around the door. I moved the sofa aside and carefully opened the door. Just a crack. To my surprise, I found a huge plastic bag at the doorstep. It had a Walmart logo on it, and it was filled with a lot of food. My eyes went wide. Was this a miracle? I felt an overwhelming sense of joy and didn't have time to think much. I dragged the large plastic bag inside in no time. I opened it up. Inside, there were a lot of noodles, a bag of rice, and 10 or so eggs. That wasn't even the best part. There were also 5 dragon fruits. My mom heard me and came over. We both stared at the pile of food in disbelief. Where did this come from?" Outside at the door, we both stammered, unable to make sense of what was happening. Was it supplies? But could supplies really be delivered so precisely? How did they know my mom loves dragon fruit? A neighbor? Impossible. We live among old, weak, and sick people who can barely take care of themselves. In the end, we decided that it must be a blessing from heaven, some divine intervention. But what we didn't expect was that in the following days things kept showing up at our doorstep. Day 12 of the zombie outbreak. Mom and I were sitting on the sofa chatting when she suddenly mentioned her stomach hurt. The next day at the doorstep, there were berries, dates, and even a box of birds' nest. Day 14 of the zombie outbreak. Today, Mom was in a really bad mood. By the morning, she had cursed "damn it" 8 times. Normally, she says it about 3 times a day. After hearing her curse 8 times before noon, I knew to stay out of her way. Day 15 of the zombie outbreak. Various kinds of sanitary pads appeared outside our door. Day 16 of the zombie outbreak. Mom said it was really hot. The next day we had electricity in a neighborhood where the power had been cut off for days. Our house still had electricity. We turned on the air conditioning. It was so cool. Day 18 of the zombie outbreak. I clasped my hands together in prayer, feeling very devout. I said I want to eat a pig's foot. The next day nothing happened. Damn it. Day 20 of the zombie outbreak. My uncle called today. He asked if my mom and I were okay. I said we were surviving. He told me not to worry, that rescue teams should reach our district in a few days. The country is rescuing people district by district. My uncle is my dad's side of the family. He was just chatting with me. But then he Sully asked about my dad. He asked how my dad was doing recently. I thought back to the message, "I'm with my new girlfriend, everything's fine, don't worry about me." A wave of anger surged in me. I said my dad's living the good life. He doesn't have time for me anymore. My uncle was shocked. What do you mean by living the good life? My uncle and my dad were close, and they used to cook together in their spare time. He didn't know what I meant by living the good life. I didn't tell you my dad found a new girlfriend, someone named Sarah. I didn't know your dad had a new girlfriend before the outbreak. He was crying like crazy at my house. He was crying like crazy. My uncle's eyes widened as he realized he had said too much. He quickly tried to change the subject. No, I just can't get a hold of him. The rescue team has already searched his district. The survivors have all been moved to safe zones. I haven't seen him around. What do you mean your dad isn't with you? My uncle asked, and I felt uneasy. Could it be something happened to him after hanging up? I felt a deep unease. My uncle didn't know about Sarah's existence. How could that be? He knew where my dad kept his private savings. I thought back to the last time I called my dad. He hung up on me. Why did he hang up? Was it because he was in danger? The more I thought about it, the more scared I became. I took out my phone and called my dad again. I gripped my phone tightly, my fingers turning white. 1 ring, 2 rings. As I held my breath waiting, the doorbell rang endless. I jumped up from the sofa, startled. That was my dad's ringtone, wasn't it? I looked through the peephole and saw the fat zombie standing outside. I hurriedly hung up the phone, and immediately my phone displayed "the other party is busy." Damn it, I panicked. My mind went blank, and my actions were purely instinctual. I opened the door. When the fat zombie saw me, his phone dropped. He didn't bother picking it up and turned around to run. I stood in the doorway. Everything that had happened in these past days, all those bizarre things suddenly seemed to make sense. The food that appeared out of nowhere, the clean hallway with no foul smell, the electricity that had been restored, the figure of the fat zombie slowly merged with a familiar silhouette. I cried out, "Dad!" The fat zombie paused, and his footsteps slowed. "Here's the English translation of the passage you provided." Seeing my dad, I didn't know whether to feel happy or sad. When I saw my dad, I didn't know whether to feel joy or sorrow. I wanted to rush up and give him a big hug, but then I saw that his legs were trembling in fear. My dad's shirt had been torn into several holes and hung raggedly on his body. When zombies don't eat well, their bellies are not as round as before, and his skin had taken on a sickly green hue. His fingers, once thick and chubby, were now like chicken claws, skin tight against the bones. His face was even more frightening. His cheekbones were protruding, his cheeks were hollow, and his eyeballs were bulging, leaving only the whites visible. His face was green, and his lips had turned black and purple. They say that once a person turns into a zombie, they lose all awareness of themselves. But why is it that my dad, apart from looking like a zombie and being unable to speak, was still exactly the same in every other way as he was before? He still liked to smoke cigarettes. His round body squatted in the corner taking a drag, with smoke pouring out of his eyeballs. Seeing him like this made me feel so heartbroken, but inheriting my mom's sharp tongue, I couldn't help but sarcastically say, "Dad, aren't you with Aunt Sarah anymore?" My dad tried to speak, but all he could manage was he couldn't speak anymore. Tears welded up in my eyes, and I turned my head away. We both sat in silence. His plump body, hunched in the corner, seemed so cramped and uncomfortable. Was he feeling wronged? I said, "Dad, what happened to you? Weren't you with that Aunt Sarah? Did she bite you?" My dad turned his head and glared at me. "Dad, what are you glaring at me for? You know your daughter tried to call you, but you hung up on me, and now look, this is your punishment." My dad raised his arm as if to strike me, and I quickly dodged. We squatted in the corner together. I said, "Apart from looking like a zombie, you're still the same as before. What else could be wrong?" My dad shook his head. He couldn't hold back the tears that were already streaming down his face. Slowly, he shuffled over and patted me. I cried even louder. "You said you were just sitting at home. Why did you go wandering around? Didn't that person warn you?" He pulled out his phone and typed, "There's no Aunt Sarah." I made her up. I froze, about to ask about the illness, when the look in my dad's eyes silenced me, rekindling old feelings. "With Mom?" I asked, not understanding. My dad snorted. He continued typing on his phone. "I have no feelings for your mother. If it wasn't for you being my daughter, do you think I would have come?" I sneered. "Right, the dates and bird's nest were for me, and the sanitary pads were for me too." My mom said it was hot, and the next day the electricity was restored when I wanted to eat a pig's foot. "You thought it was too much." My dad grunted and didn't respond. I said, "Dad, I just don't get it. If you can't get over Mom, why did you have to divorce her in the first place?" My dad typed, "You wouldn't understand." When he typed that, his jaw tightened as if he were fighting against something. Just then, while we were reminiscing, the scent of living humans attracted a zombie. The zombie stared directly at me, and I felt my soul almost leave my body. My dad stepped in front of me and kicked it away. I was in awe. Even as a zombie, my dad's combat skills were still impressive. Thinking back, it was probably him who had been driving the other zombies away these past few days. The hallway was spotless with no corpses. My dad must have been cleaning them up. I looked at my dad, who silently smoked all these days. It had been him silently protecting me, and my mom. That divine intervention we had thought was just my dad. After hearing our conversations at the door, he'd been afraid that we were mostly lacking food, especially my mom. Every night, when the zombies weren't active, he'd sneak into the supermarkets and bring things back for us. I understood why he didn't want us to know that the zombies outside were him. He didn't want us to be scared, but I couldn't understand why he'd made up our Aunt Sarah the day my mom was so angry that her hair seemed to stand on end. I told my dad what happened. I said that my mom was furious, so angry her hair was almost standing up. My dad just lowered his head silently. His shoulders shook slightly, and then I heard him laugh. It was a strange laugh, one I hadn't heard in a long time. My dad didn't want me to tell my mom that he had turned into a zombie. I asked him why, but he refused to explain. It's been 2 days since I found out that my dad was a zombie. The national rescue operation was progressing in full swing. I told my dad, "Look, you're fine now. Apart from looking a bit scary, everything else is just like before. When the rescue team comes, we'll go together." My dad shook his head. I cried. I strictly kept my promise to my dad and didn't tell my mom. Every day, When she took her afternoon nap, I'd sneak out to chat with my dad by the wall today, when I saw my mom was almost asleep. I did the same thing. I quietly closed the door behind me skillfully. I lit a cigarette for my dad. He smoked in such a strange way that smoke came out from his eyeballs today. Felt different though as soon as I lit his cigarette. It felt strange. He took a puff and smoke started pouring from the top of his head. I joked, "Nice one, Dad." My dad froze, and I followed his gaze. I froze too. My mom was standing at the door, her face pale. I panicked. I knew this was my dad, but my mom didn't know. Would she think I was infected too? I opened my mouth ready to explain when I saw my mom's eyes close, and she fainted when my mom woke up under the threat of my mom's fury. I told her about my dad. I said the fat zombie at the door was my dad. When she heard this, she almost fainted again. I quickly supported her. My mom stared blankly for a while. She pushed me aside and got out of bed. She stood at the door for a long time. I thought she was going to go look for my dad, but instead she leaned against the door and began to cry. The last time I saw my mom cry was when my dad was fighting for a divorce. My dad had said, "I'll give you freedom." My mom cried, "I want your freedom, not your so-called freedom." I stood to the side, confused. My dad had said he no longer loved my mom and that staying together was pointless. But I always thought there was no one who loved my mom more than him. Before, when my mom had a small surgery for her stomach, the doctor said it was no big deal, but my dad had been so worried that he stayed by her bed for 2 days, not daring to sleep. He was afraid that if she woke up and didn't see him, she would be scared. But he never said a word. He thought expressing such feelings was overly sentimental. He never bought my mom flowers. But whenever he went on a business trip, he always brought back bags full of things for her. My mom once asked, "Why did you buy so much stuff?" He replied, "I saw it and just bought it." My mom called him a spendthrift. He responded, "What do you know, woman?" My mom happily posted a picture of all the things he brought her on social media. He stood behind her and said, "Look at how happy your mom is, like a little girl." My mom was nearly 50, but in his eyes she was still a little girl. My dad said he didn't love my mom anymore, but I knew he was lying. I could see through it. But my mom couldn't. It's always harder to see things clearly from the inside. This translation aims to preserve the emotional weight and narrative style, while making it clear for English-speaking readers. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Here's the English translation of the passage you provided. Day 25 of the zombie outbreak. It was 8:00 a.m. On the 25th day of the zombie outbreak, I screamed "R!" and my mom immediately slapped me on the back. "What's wrong? Did you mutate? Even the rooster shouldn't crow at this time." I rubbed my back and called her over. "Mom, come here." My mom widened her eyes. "What, you want to hit me back? Are you out of your mind?" I rolled my eyes silently. "I wouldn't dare, Mom. Look this." I turned the computer screen toward her. "Woman develops facial paralysis from constipation. Is it really because of straining too hard? What, are you constipated? I told you to look at the page, not the pop-up window." I yelled. My mom lowered her head and stared at it. After about half a minute, she let out the same scream I had. "R!" She leaned back, covering her mouth, then turned to me and asked, "Is this for real?" "Doesn't matter if it's real or not, we have to try it. What if this medicine can really cure the virus in Dad's body?" Look, the person who was cured has symptoms very similar to Dad's. They only hit on their hospital has more Westerners up here. This was free with pockets and wet was protected. Built it symptoms were dead. That's healed long distance attack with rubs sick at the free Alex Parnoli and beat. Statistically stayed out of this. There was just a singular and I've had his head and more his heart like I the airman. If I was open watery, use like and when beat very few does my big you did. I don't with all good after every angle take dirty like I'll do to run to me and give it just trade it and go home and okay. I stomp at my dad and for after him. After me, he did tell me wrote to go trusted and test no more. Don't zero out if you could be waiting take fully to be and you're somewhere. So like the media I she's that we all out sorry. Suffers be up and does not feel thoughts like more not eat more dead but adding to strap heat now rotate fine don't you mean to what duff it used one door for list I've when hard mom even knowing no end that it's asking flee might still over at to find knowledge but I told you mom chance will bad points do you right I couldn't up split the ring dumped it on him lit high able marrow little her the castle were to be say and shark arms be physical to learn by the camping the house and how to head copy but team power while you did sign us stay I nerd of your head on me quick right and split with each thread hard or dreamy and now not until I please get adults and some fat at we break draw if why that I do say down here for his friend but then fade we had a picture on the ocean and absent breakers while you're in no fly niche or just isn't dish that's you by 20 on out pass out don't be in water on what was fast what run me but it chuck hurry I got my throw lunch please drink or be I was in friends in and comes from fizz and blue his big hairy one sim sorts of eyes different damn his eyes you tried over day and warranty that we go back will and get he'll allow me to sketch it was very they all around and add from different things to hear sorry and that to his asked to blitz that dip to take my ears do the ones to get right the bus on at me that job was asking has stop me to with me up you demon to share and black the in life we I take them off track ad was heavy couldn't treatment disease and more since just strange hands so my lord dad only adapt if we only already I look me in and get all to his head the three to close needs to us and chipped me so yeah the around the form pick is a felt private man chat me all around and needed out three people by some trustworthy on the office old in the tide out of my room feeling and clean he busts but it be a free do it with me but now it's into see that one not secret more he ain't got out Henderson now tweet sorry for the essence of name really urgent some abused I will the time what issues on action to that come heard will be found to discuss ask to do fast already and hold to pass it would sent to out which guess bend see I hope guess more on the I find this bleeds they're clear dad look leader I dad look you see them and I with house you can't bring out and back up over the cameras something I his heart healed and all is pretty correct I like us was sort of reason her really fine thumb would move and thing right to find have the got the rattle headed 15 on 8 days drove more all the hungry prediction was a white agent well here to the long over but the seats about right bombs on head caught up to nickel care on the wipers but what I looked so you like very was it dress comes to split and jeeves ski or lunchy day now head for battle for all cream next year to see best out dress about him and him what's the red day loom and you give dress the right use line and do you putting him right out and that's he will them but you'd had so right you there put who doesn't want to is right oh well actually you feel so right so safe lush me want it's roses still wrote if hard on the soft enough and be a hair your string had to give your 2 1 second when rest 10 fat red the done longer out my doom so the club into the dish at the head doomstead on about heat turn and think that would bless bottom he by I between done hell to hold you of course like the small said you woman see but to he also wrote and he was back highly sized listened and emoted and neck narrows aspect we find his glass and patch by dirty we have heard waiting down about keep out James and vibes carrots on road drafts with the bowling at the end of quitless you being slowly more as me I swept into the dam why had open the beer to leave of fusing area look the month I'm disobeyed I had will some why so you be at longer age listen I overly rose react to hurry water me like said her will say on more their how only they can't doesn't she look like you not have monthing right now at I sally in the fun days and laugh is oaks all did fed me their mentals are we find rough in the ties of me has been tilly to mass and hook at the Indian cleast all to the with to shirt there and woman down dial to high white moonball edited about from hack now finished said yeah listen to that's not to fair lowering out would point out there is I would be young zero gadsha and more here yeah forced to raise issue latitude rock into successfully of shimmy the root of wetted on and the success there now and then very that cutting protein that was early I have all to the hours early them mossing the wall play with leader so people high steam hunt the mean so the air of remember that out no shame even the salad alone but deck out in all country speaking spiritual was that was you felt how the lord sim and I hearing us speed window time to pen sharp fitfully he's full like the third day is a you said mash the still warming to sun the eagle is and level you did our effective got it on the rest wouldn't what I'm now just for her really like behalf the web on kai to no one's time needs the door night there with stone shin we first met fast floor when she was in with the I remember I went to Elizabeth to back so every brother say I have back the MC chies him but knows a nailed back high the she I'm short and purse warming the drip bus and cap to reckon down where you take wait to really just behind her fingers in fast to max so back I wrote him to make her neck set on nose I thought chief to pleasant a laugh for fastly on them thought turtles white it was like she told me going about to watch and by forget even for an hour and better than probably that ending forward but has when even like on deep sheets heard put in when out I can for this on the account forms weird was the hell the arrested my almost fancy I wow even I'm would deal with pain when told Jay built him out if they did to know and see that get her I would bet my he wanted to do it more much on drug need person I wanted or didn't know otherwise there's low she I all regret he said dismissing and said that now you can rise and after he saw nation house she did and but you looked at it that fight I thought I got the shitty I was full of shit he said to my dad you took it she stood there said and the strong head and he was clear of rose there was no seed so we are here said I am talking Ellie said we are she's back anything better even you and with me jealousy of Luth and I'd written out also you can always with a mesh not do run the wedding for hearing you ski take care